Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone. Welcome back to the TOEFL preparation course. And today we are going to discuss reading comprehension section of a TOEFL test and the skills needed, especially skills 8 to 13. All right. At first, we were going to discuss the skills related to vocabulary questions, and it covers skills 8 to 11. Okay, let's go to skill 8, which is find definitions from structural clues. Okay, sometimes in a TOEFL test, you are asked to determine the meaning of a word in the reading comprehension section of a TOEFL test. So, the meaning of words, right? Yeah. And this is commonly found in a TOEFL test. Yes. So in the reading comprehension section, probably you will meet more than 3 questions related to finding definitions. Okay, and you can find the definitions of the words from the structural clues given in the passage. So how can you try to answer these questions, this type of questions? You can find the definitions in the reading passage because it is possible, one, that the passage has given you the information about the meaning of the word, and two, that there are structural clues that you can use to tell you that the definitions of a word included in the passage. What are the structural clues? Let's take a look at this. Okay, if you can see in the table here, wait, let me put this one. Okay. Now, how to identify the question? The type of questions usually, what is the meaning of X in line Y? So you will be given the line. So it's not going to be very difficult to find the word. Okay? Or it will be the word X in line Y is closest in meaning to, or another alternative question will be the word X in line Y could best be replaced by. So it can be meaning, closest in meaning to, or could be best replaced by. All right, and then the types of clues. Okay, to find the meaning of certain words in the passage, in the reading passage, you can try to find to look at the punctuation. Sometimes the definition is given in after comma, so you have the word and then comma, and then after the words, after the comma, you can find the definition of the word. Or it can be also given in between parentheses or dash. Yeah, so when you see a word and then comma, or after a certain word, then there are parentheses and also dashes. Yeah, it probably giving this certain things after the comma, parentheses, or dashes, probably giving you the clue and the definition of the word. All right. Or sometimes it is also be given in as a restatement. Blah 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 or blah blah blah. Okay, so the clue will be if you see the word or, that is, in other words, or that is. Or sometimes the definition is given by giving examples. Such as, for example, yeah, this is the clue. Such as, for example, and then this one, for example. So, where to find the information? For where to find the answers? Of course, the information to help you determine what something means will generally be found after that punctuation. The clue, the restatement clue, or the example clue. So, in order to answer this kind of question, you find the word in the passage, locate any structural clues, and then read the part of the passage after the structural clues carefully so that you can find the answer in that particular part in the passage. Okay, so basically, when you are asked the meaning of certain words, you might want to try to find some clues, the structural clues in the passage, to show you that the definition is actually given already in the passage. And these are the structural clues. Can be in the form of punctuation, restatement, or examples. And these are the clues: comma, parentheses, dashes, or that is, in other words, such as, for example. Okay, that is for skill 8. Find the definition of words. Okay, now let's move to skill 9, which is determining meanings from word parts. So, when you are asked the meaning of certain words in a TOEFL test, one more thing that you can do to determine the meaning of these words are by looking at the word parts, which can give you clue what the meaning of the words will be. Okay. So, knowing the meaning of word parts can help you determine the meaning of a long word. Let's take a look at the next slide, which is which show you the list of word parts. Okay, now here I have the list of word parts, which will give you the clue of the meaning of certain long words because it contains these word parts. Okay, so we have this one. We have contra, which means again. So when you have a word with contra in it, then you know that it against. It has a meaning of against, or like this one, contrast. So it's different, gitu, against. And then this one, mal, means bad. So malcontent, which means, well, it has bad content. Miss means error. So if you have mistake, then you have an error in it. Sub means under. Yeah, subway, the way under, right? Dec, mean 10. So if you have decade, it's in 10 years. It means 10 years, period. Multi means many. Sol means one. Three means three. Dic means say, like dictate, say. Domin means master. Jud means dominant, right? A jud means judge, sorry. And more is death. Spec is to see. Ter, earth, like in territory, yeah, or terrain. Okay. Ver is turn. Viv is live, like in revive. Ver, like in divert. Okay, so if you know the meaning of these these word parts, it will help you when you see certain words which has this word part in it. Let's take a look at the example here. Here we have the word vividly. The question is, the word vividly in line 6 is close in meaning to. See, it's here. What does this word means? Okay, if you remember what viv means. Okay, viv means life tadi ya. So the answer to the question is vividly. Okay, so the meaning, the answer for this question should be in a lifelike way, because as you remember, viv means life. So in a lifelike way. That is how you use word parts to give you clues of what the meaning of words are. All right, now let's take a look at skill 10, which is using context to determine meanings of difficult words. Okay, sometimes you will find some difficult words in the passage, and actually you can try to find the meaning of these words by looking at the context in which this word is placed. Okay? To answer this kind of questions, you can use the context around the word to determine the meaning. For the passage will give you a clear indication of what the word means. What does it mean by the context? It means the words before and after the word itself. Let's take a look at the example here. The question is, an incumbent in line 1 is most likely. Here we can read here in the passage, in a government election, the incumbent generally has a strong advantage over a newcomer. And then after that sentence, a person who is already in office and thus has a certain degree of prominence has a better chance of being elected than someone who is unknown to the electorate. Okay, it can be seen from the context given in the passage that incumbent is a person who is already in office. See, the definition is actually given in the passage. We just have to know how to find it. Okay, so the best answer to the question is D, the current office holder. Okay, so that is the third one on how to find the meaning of words. And now let's move on to skill 11. If skill 10 is using context to determine meanings of difficult words, for this one, skill 11 is using context to determine meanings of simple words. Okay, sometimes even though you were asked simple words, the definition of simple words, still you need to see the context to determine the meanings of these words. Why? Because a word sometimes has various meanings, right? So you have to see the context to really know what the word meanings in context. Yeah. Okay, so basically we do have to understand and be aware that all the meanings of the words in the vocabulary question in the TOEFL test should be determined based on the context in the passage. So even though it's a simple word, probably you are asked a very simple word and you know the meaning, you still have to take a look at the passage again, which has the word in it, to make sure that the meaning is contextualized with the meaning of the passage, given in the passage. Okay, so you need to be careful even though the questions are about the meaning of a simple word. Yeah, take a look at the context in the passage. Let's see the example here, guys. The word steps in line 1 could best be replaced by, okay, I'm sure that you know the meaning of the word steps, and you also know that the word steps has different meanings, not only one meaning, right? So you have to make sure which meaning belongs to the word step in the passage by looking at the word in the passage and read the whole sentence at least. Yeah. So here we have, faced with serious threats to its future, the company is taking steps to improve its outlook. The company is taking steps to improve its outlook. Okay, so even though the primary meaning of the word step is a stair, we cannot say that the company is taking stairs, right? Therefore, it is not the correct answer. The same goes to walks and footprints, yeah? But you can say company is taking actions. Therefore, here, the meaning of the word steps here is not stairs and also not walks, because the company is not taking walks, or footprints, yeah, but the company take actions. So the answer is C. You see, even though you know the meaning of the words, you still have to read the sentence in which the word belongs to, and to see the context in that sentence. Yeah, we have to really contextualize the meaning. See, because we cannot, just like this example, we cannot say that a company is taking stairs or a company is taking walks, but the company is taking actions. All right, that is skills 8 to 11. Skill 8 to 11. And it deals with vocabulary or definitions of certain words. And now let's move on to the next skill. All right, the next skills is skills 12 and 13, which will cover the overall AV questions. Okay, now let's move to skill 12. Determine where specific information is found. Okay, in a TOEFL test, you will sometimes be asked to determine where in the passage certain information is found. For this type of question, the answer choices will list the possible location for that information. So it's probably in line 1 to 2, or in line 2 to 3, in line 5 to 6, things like that. Yeah. Therefore, the best way to answer this type of question is by reading the sentences in line listed in the answers and skip the information. So you already read the questions, and then you go to the lines given in the multiple choices, and you see whether the information given in that line is what you are looking for. Okay? So let's take a look at the example here. Where in the passage does the author discuss the composition of the meteor? Okay, and then the composition of the meteor. And it gives you the lines here. And what I like from TOEFL test is that it already gives you the number of lines in the passage, so you don't have to count. Yeah, in the left side of the passage, you see here, line 5, 10. Okay, well, you count, but not one by one, right? Okay, so let's go to lines 1 to 3. Here, meteor crater, a great crater approximately 40 miles, blah, 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 until this one. Does it give you the clue? Does it give you the answer for composition of the meteor? No, right? Okay, let's take a look at lines 4 to 5. 4, this one is 5, so this one is 4. The meteor, made of nickel and iron, disintegrated on impact and spread 500 million tons of rock over the surface of the land. Composition of the meteor, made of nickel and iron. So this is the answer. So the answer is B. So you don't have to move to the next lines. But if you haven't, if it is not in line 4 to 5, then you will read line 6 to 8 until you find the answer. Okay, that's how you do how you determine where specific information is found. Take a look at the table here. So how to identify the questions? The question will probably where in the passage, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and where to find the answer? The answers can be in any of the lines listed in the answer on the questions. So what you have to see is what's inside the lines listed in the multiple choices. Okay, so again, if you want to answer this type of questions, you choose a keyword or idea in the question and then skim the appropriate part of the passage looking for the idea. Okay, all right, next let's go to skill 13. Skill 13 is for skill 13 you are actually expected to be able to determine the tone, purpose, or course of the passage. Possible questions for this type are: first, for the tone of the passage, you can try to find whether the passage is informational or explanatory or factual. It also shows some emotion from the writer. Okay, you can also find out the author's purpose in writing the passage. Yeah, what is the author trying to do in the passage? Yeah, you try to see it from how the passage is being delivered. Yeah, and it of course refers to the main idea and the organization of details in the passage. The third one is the course in which the passage might be used. Yeah, so probably you will be asked to decide which university course might use the passage as assigned reading. Okay, so that is these are the three questions that could probably also be found in a TOEFL test for reading comprehension section. Let's take a look at the example here. The question is, the tone of the passage is. Okay, you might want to read the first sentence and the last sentence to see the main idea. Okay, and then take a look at some of the sentences here. Or usually, if you do the TOEFL test, you will have you will have around 8 to 10 questions for one passage, right? So basically when you answer other questions which is not the tone, you already know piece by piece of information given in the passage, so you might be able to draw conclusions of the tone of the passage. Here in this passage, the author doesn't show any emotions. It only shows historical facts. Yeah, let's see. This is for a century from the end of the Revolutionary War until the Civil War, the United States awarded no military honors. And then the second paragraph, the second clue is here. Honor in 1861 was a source of great discussion and concern. And here, although the United States is still somewhat wary of granting military awards, several awards has been instituted since World War I. So he or she is only giving some facts, historical facts. Therefore, the best answer to the question is D, informational. This is an informational passage, an informational text. There is no anger there. This passage is also not humorous, right, or outrage. So this is informational. Okay. All right. So basically, this kind of question, these are the variation of the question that you might found in a TOEFL test for determining the tone, purpose, or course What is the tone of the passage? What is the author's purpose in the passage? Or in which course would this reading is assigned? For the tone, yeah, you can look for the answer by looking at trying to find clues, yeah, throughout the passage that show if the author is showing some emotion rather than just presenting facts. So you might know if the author is emotional in presenting something or just presenting some facts, right? That's for the tone. And for the purpose, draw a conclusion about the purpose from the main idea and supporting ideas. Yeah, you can then draw the conclusion. What is the purpose of the writer in writing this passage? And then the course, of course, you need to draw a conclusion about the course based on the topic of the passage and the supporting ideas. Okay, and how to find the answers to this question? For the question on tone, you skim the passage looking for clues that the author is showing some emotion, just like what I mentioned previously, and choose the answer that identifies the emotion. For the purpose, you need to study the main idea. You need to find out to really find out the main idea in the topic sentence and the details used to support the main idea, and then draw a conclusion about the purpose. And for the course, of course, you still have to study the main idea in the topic sentence and the details also. All right, that is my explanation on TOEFL skills for reading comprehension section, especially for skills 8 to 13. After you watch this video, please do the quiz on my class, yeah, to give you exercise on to give you practice on finding the definition of words, on finding the tone, purpose, or course in which the passage can be assigned to, or in determining in which part of the passage some information is given. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that it will help you in understanding the skills needed to nail the reading comprehension section in a TOEFL test, especially for skills 8 to 13. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.